In today's Sharp Saturday video, I have a real treat for you. In the rapidly fading sunlight, we're going to take a look at a fixed blade knife from one of my favorite knife companies, Spyderco. This is the Spyderco Street Beat, and that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. And like I said today, that something sharp is this Spyderco Street Beat fixed blade. Yep, fixed blade knife from Spyderco. This is a really nice little knife. We're going to take a closer look at it, put it through the old standard scientific process here at Survival on Purpose in just a minute. But first, as always, today's words of wisdom from the Bible, and today's wisdom is from Proverbs chapter 20, verse 3, from the New Living Translation this time. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Now, there you go. So, also a big thank you to my friends at XS Sights for sponsoring today's video. XS Sights are the fastest sight in any light and the only sights that I trust any pistol that I carry to protect myself and my family, including this little North American Arms revolver, 22 Magnum revolver with XS Sights on it. So, my friends at XS Sights make all their sights in the United States. They are shooters, not just businessmen, and they really make excellent, excellent sights. And let's just say, if you wanted to, there might be a code, some kind of, just if there was a code for some sort of special thing, it might be SOP 15. We'll say it like that, and I'll leave that alone. So thanks again to the folks at XS Sights for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get down to the old stump top and get to doing some of that nice stuff. You want to? Okay, so here, right alongside my Thermacell, hopefully mosquito prevention device, is the Spyderco Street Beat fixed blade. And this is designed by French custom knife maker and close combat expert Fred Perrin, if I said that correctly. Let's talk about the specs of this thing, and then we'll get to doing some of that science stuff. First of all, this is a nice compact sized little knife. The overall length of 7.18 inches. For those of you still stuck in that old metric system, that is 182 millimeters. It has a total blade length of 3.51 inches or 89 millimeters with a 3.15 inch or 80 millimeter cutting edge. The blade thickness is 0.157 inches or 4 millimeters at the top, and it's because it's a full flat grind with a black ceramic coated finish. Has a little bit of thumb jimping on the back here all the way down the handle, and these handle materials are fiberglass reinforced nylon. Looks like the blade comes all the way, I can't tell, but it looks like the blade comes down into here. It has what they're calling an index finger groove right here, so this is both good for fighting type or self-defense, and also for hopefully just plain old carving stuff. And this is a super lightweight knife at just 3.1 ounces or 88 grams. The sheath is a polymer pancake style sheath. Fits very nicely in here. It has a little drain hole in it and an adjustable G-clip on back that clips on with the belt. They call this a G-clip. But what's cool about this is you can set it up for regular vertical carry. You can set it up, turn it around for scout carry, because these holes are 1 inch apart. You can even set it up for 45-degree angle carry because of these holes here. You skip a hole, they're also 1 inch apart. So several different options for carry on this, and then it has a lanyard hole. That being said, this thing, in my hand, it feels really good, whether reverse grip or regular grip. That index groove, as they're calling it, really does let you get a really nice grip on this thing, and the thumb jimping is, in my opinion, this is some of the best jimping I've seen on any knife, because it absolutely gives you traction and grips your thumb, but it's not at all irritating. Like some jimping, it really it hurts when you push on it. This is almost perfect, I would say. And then it's got a little hole here. I think that's just a little Spyderco design thing. So that being said, like I said, we're all scientific here, so I like to do the pretty much internationally standard sharpness test, the old redneck sharp test. So we'll get the testing medium out here. We can put it in the camera, and we'll just see how well this thing does. You want to? Let's try it. And I'm telling you, oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, I just want to show you that. Can you see all that hair there? Oh my gosh, this sucker is, by golly, sharp. All right, well, I'm gonna zoom you back out just a little bit. Can you see me now? You don't wanna see this anyway. We're gonna do a little bit of other standard knife stuff with it. So first, we're gonna do just like that evil, nasty batoning thing. Here's a piece of pretty dry wood, and you know, this is again, this is a 3.5 inch blade, so you don't want to do anything huge with it, but we should be able to baton something this size with it, just to get down into the center in case it's wet, and plus that's just part of the scientific testing I like to do. So, and this is not a huge, gigantic chunk of wood, and that's not really why you would baton. It's not about building a cabin or splitting your firewood for the winter. It's about, in my opinion, just being able to get a fire started. And one of the things you might want to do is get down to a smaller piece of wood or get to the interior of a piece of wood. In this case, I like to get to a good sharp corner. So let's see how well this thing does some of that carving. You want to? Let me zoom you in for this one. Alrighty, well, this sucker was absolutely 100% redneck sharp, so I'm sure it's going to do fine, but let's just see what we can do with it. You want to? You can get some nice little curls going on here. And different blade styles, like this is a full flat grind, it really is, with a secondary little bevel there. You kind of have to get used to different blade configurations and edge types. So it might take me just a minute to kind of get this one dialed in, but that's the Indian, not the arrow. We'll say it like that. And that's probably not at all politically correct, is it? Like I care. But man, this sucker is making Shirley Temple curls. Oh man. Okay, can you see those? Those are just like, this is, wow. Really good job. Okay. In the interest of time, we're going to call this like wow is what we're going to call it. Now, I happen to have some of that there fat wood, because I love me some fat wood. So let's see how well it does with the old fat wood. And first we're going to just carve some fat wood curls, because I like doing that. I like to get into it so you can smell it. And let's see if we can smell it. Oh my gosh, can you smell that? Ooh, that smells so good. Okay, so I like to try to see how well a knife scrapes. I like to scrape fat wood and other things. This jimping looks like it might be a really good scraper, but let's just see. Sometimes jimping is hit or miss. If it's too rough, it doesn't really, it just cuts grooves in it. But this is, man, this, look at that. This is darn near perfect, as they would say. Man, oh man. I'm trying to leave room for the rest of the science. So there's that. And the next thing we want to try to do is, because like I said, I think one of the primary uses of a knife, at least in a survival situation, is the ability to help you make a fire. Because, as I've said before, I think the ability to have a fire is a key thing to have in a survival situation, or just in general life. And so today we're going to use the Fatwood Fire Steel's ferro rod, which comes with its own little piece of fat wood and a striker. But we're going to try the knife in case you didn't have a striker. All you had was a ferro rod, and we're going to see how well it does. We're going to scrape with the jimping at the same place, which is not great for a ferro rod because it's going to groove it a little bit, but oh well, I'll get over it. And so there we go. What else do you think we could do? Okay, so that's some of our scientific testing process concerning the practical usage of a knife. As you know, here at Survival on Purpose, we are all about the science, and to that end, we maintain a state-of-the-art, cutting-edge knife testing facility. And one of the tests I like to do on all knives is to test the aerodynamic balance using the balance, orientation, and rotation device. Let me say very clearly that Spyderco and most knife companies absolutely do not recommend throwing their knives unless they're specifically designed to be a throwing knife. And we would never do that here, but we do like to test the balance. So I think we should do that with this one, don't you? And as always, proper scientific methodology is critical to the testing process. So let's do that. Whoop, 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 whoop. So is calibration. Let me get a little closer to you. It's okay, I took a shower today. Whoop. I think I need to back you up just a little bit. There we go. Is that a little better? I don't want to get too close to you and bump into you. I always have trouble with lighter weight knives. Aha. There we go. Well, she's taking a licking and keeping on ticking. Whoop. Whoop. Right in the lichen, as they say. We'll get there. Let's try a little no spin with this lightweight one. Ooh, that one hit solid. Didn't sound good, but no problems. So, okay, we're gonna give it one more try. Maybe one more. Every time I think I got it calibrated, I screw up. Time for 3 in a row. So far, I've only got 2 in a row. Oh! We'll call that 2.5. Okay, we're gonna call that done. Okay, well, that's 3.5 out of 4. We'll call it done. So that is the scientific, might I say, rigorous scientific testing process on the Spyderco Street Beat fixed blade. I gotta say, I'm really, really impressed with this little knife. It's the first fixed blade I've tested from Spyderco. You know I like Spyderco. I've looked at some of their knives over the years. Some of my favorite knives are Spyderco knives. This thing is it's super lightweight, easy to carry. I like the sheath that gives you a lot of adaptability in how you carry it. This is a good all-around knife, a good everyday carry fixed blade. Super, super sharp from the factory, like everything from Spyderco. Very well balanced, very well made. I haven't found anything I don't like about this knife, to be honest with you. And I'm just being straight with you. Even after once I finally got it calibrated, it was able to balance pretty well. And like I said, I'm sure Spyderco does not recommend that you throw their knives. But for the sake of science, we do like to test the aerodynamic balance. So there you go. By the way, I forgot to mention, but this is a VG10 steel. I think I told you that, made in Japan. And the MSRP on this thing is about 174 bucks, so 173 something. So not a super low budget knife, but not a crazy expensive knife. But like I just checked it on Amazon, it's 110 bucks, 109 something. So in my opinion, for a high quality knife, VG10 steel, made by Spyderco, a name that you know you can trust, that is a really, really good price for this knife, for 110 bucks. So if you're looking for a smaller, compact, everyday carry fixed blade that is still very, very capable to do all that knife stuff, you might want to check out the old Spyderco Street Beat. Like I said, a big thank you to the folks at Spyderco for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, 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 thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.